Hey everybody, it's me Trish again, and it is April 2nd, which is World Autism Day. I think it was created by Autism Speaks. Personally, I have an issue with Autism Speaks, but that can be a whole another video. This is about positivity, not negativity. I'm just saying. Now, for anybody that's new to the channel or that knows, my son Connor, who's going to be 10 in June, has autism. How my story goes, and actually, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that I'm collabing with Stacey Rodriguez, so I will also post her video below of her story. I decided to collab because she has 2 kids that have autism, and I have Connor who has autism. So, my story is, when I got pregnant, for anybody, like I said, who hasn't watched my videos before, I had mentioned that Connor is a twin. So, when I got pregnant, I was pregnant with twin boys. At 28 weeks, I lost his brother. So from like there on, I kind of went, well, Connor might have problems after he's born too, because if I lost one, we don't know what's going on, with Connor. And for anybody that doesn't know, we named him Caleb. I'm going to do a whole video just on the whole Caleb situation, what happened, and that story. But this is about Connor right now. So when he was born, we kept an eye on him. Like, my mom's worked in education way before I was even born, so she knew what to look for. I've also worked at daycares, so we just kept an eye on him. He was delayed walking, he was delayed with talking, delayed enough where we went, okay, let's get him checked out. So I'm trying to think. He's 10 now, so it's not like it's fresh and new, and I'm still like in the hardcore midst of like the stuff we were doing. But at 2.5, I think it was, his pediatrician, who is awesome, was like, why didn't I send you over to speech, see what's going on, and go from there? So we started taking speech, and then at 2.5 he started speech. At 2 years 9 months, we knew that they had this special preschool. It was a regular preschool, but they had an awesome special needs program that at 2 years 9 months he could sign up. So we got in the process of doing that. He got in there. He was getting speech and OT there, occupational therapy. And you'll notice I'll bring up a lot of like acronyms of stuff, because that's the best way, because these long words and names, and we tend to spout out like OT, PT, ABA, all this. Everything has an acronym because it's the long names. So he's getting speech and OT at that school, and he could stay there till he was 3. And then when we had the IEP for when he was 3, they were like, well, he can't stay here because he still needs to work on his speech, still needs to work on his OT, and then he was having issues in like the PT, the physical therapy part, like his running. He would skip more than he actually run. Even to this day, he's not a full-on runner. Like, he can take off faster than me, but I got back issues, and that's why I can usually keep up with them. Anyhow, so they said, okay, we're going to send him to this other school. They told us this right before he turned 4. And he started to go to the school he's at now, because they had an awesome pre-K there. So Connor's been at the school, this elementary school, from 4 years old all the way up till now. Now at school he gets, at first he got physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech, and then he had an ABA and, oh my God, an ABA basically. And I can't think of the actual, like, the wording for what it is, because it's been one of those type of days. But they basically are there to help the child communicate in a way that another child can understand it. So ABAs are a beautiful thing. ABAs will even come to your house if you can find one. And I tell you, if you guys have kids right now looking for a career to get into that makes a lot of money and it helps kids, you need to tell them to go to school to be an ABA. There's a short amount of ABAs in the world. Even in Massachusetts, who has an amazing, like, medical everything. Boston has all these amazing doctors and can make things out. Yeah. it's such a struggle to get an ABA, and there's so many kids now. Like, the new ratio of kids with autism compared to mainstream kids, or neurotypical, that's a word that we use for kids that, you know, don't have a special need, they're like autism, is neurotypical, is 1 in 66 or 68. Like, when he was born, it was like 1 in 200. There's a need for ABAs. Tell your kids, male, female, and males. We need some more males that work with special needs, because all these kids, especially males, have a hard time. They need another male figure. If their dad's there or not, they need another male figure. And over the years, they let go of his physical therapy. What they added to Connor's IEP, which is in, I am so bad, I should have written down the actual names, but an IEP is an individual education plan. And it works on, okay, this is what we're going to work on with him. This is what we're going to do. By kindergarten or first grade, he got an adapted phys ed teacher. It's kind of like an ABA, but for physical therapy. If physical therapy and ABA had a baby, it would be adapted phys ed. And having him in Connor's life made him want to be more of like that rough and tough, I want to play and I want to run and I want to just like be physical. Because for a while he was, I don't want to. So, I mean, that adaptive phys ed was an amazing, amazing add to his IEP plan. Plus, you know, they go by what his strengths and his weaknesses are. So if they feel that he can do more, they will push him to do more. If what he's working on brings him a lot of anxiety, they have ways of redirecting him. Redirecting is a beautiful thing. If you can learn how to redirect, it's a miracle. So, like, going back to my story, because I started ranting, by about first grade, he had this really amazing teacher. He ended up having her for kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. He really was coming along. He was doing really good. And then one of his friends was having a really rough time, and it threw him off. That's a big thing on kids, is the redirecting, so they can get away from the situation that they're dealing with, and just how to deal with stressful situations. Because with some kids, they don't know how to do it. Connor was a follower and not a leader. These days, he's a leader, not a follower. Well, it's a whole other story. But his IEP and his speech and everyone that has ever come to his IEP meetings has been amazing, and the school he's been at has been amazing. Now, his teacher that he's had for 3rd and 4th grade is a whole other issue. Also, I forgot to add, when Connor was, because he was so delayed, we tried for a while to get Connor potty trained. By about 4.5, he was like potty trained, but it took him almost till 8 years old to be fully potty trained with 1 and 2. Let's just say that. We had a little TMI in the Dollar Tree video before this one. So I'm just saying, it took a while. It was very tough to have to sit there and have to change him all the time, because he would go to the potty, go pee, whatever, but he just didn't want to, or he didn't know how to control it. And so we had to get another routine. You will hear that a lot with autism parents. Put your kids on a routine. If you got to miss out on something as a parent, you have to miss out on it. It is more important that your kid be on a routine than you doing it. And it drives me nuts when some parents sit there and go, well, we want to do this and we want to do that. Well, work out a routine that you can do that in. Don't just think, oh, we'll just have to deal with a meltdown. Because meltdowns can be as simple as 1-2 minutes, or they could go all the way for 10-20 minutes flipping out. Like Connor, for a while, we couldn't go out during anywhere close to lunchtime because he would act out so much because he was hungry. It took so long to figure out that he was hungry, and instead of saying, Mommy, I need something to eat because I'm hungry, he had a meltdown, would act out, whatever. Now his new thing, he's gotten really attached to me, and come to find out it's because he hasn't seen his dad. There's a lot going on with his dad, who I've mentioned before, and yeah, it's just a lot. So he hasn't been around a whole lot. So he's super attached to me. And anytime I go out anywhere, he gets so emotionally overwhelmed, he doesn't know what to do with himself. Even though if I go out, I come back. I always come back. And I make sure we have a routine. And even with the routine, he is just like, I mean, we had one good day, and it's the weirdest day that he would have been okay with everything, but it was the night of my grandfather's wake. My youngest brother stayed here. He actually went to the funeral the next day, and I wasn't able to. But he stayed here when me and the rest of the family went to the wake, and he went to sleep without me being here for my brother. Now, my brother's watched Connor before, and he couldn't. He flipped out. Mommy, where are you? Mommy, you need to come home. Even I went out Black Friday to go talk to Santa, and he was not feeling it. He got me on the phone and said, Mommy, you need to come home right now. Like, screaming. It was, I just have never seen him like that. So there's a lot. You are constantly changing your routine. It is an ongoing thing. It is non-stop. But it's an experience in itself, because Connor these days, he's always been very, not just verbal, but his vocabulary is so beyond his years. When he got diagnosed, because he didn't end up getting diagnosed until he was 6 years old, because even though we were going to a developmental specialist, and we were going, like, it was crazy when I was young, because we were literally going to the medical building that we had all this stuff at, because they had speech and OT there, because he used to get it outside of school and in school. And I was literally out of the house 5 days a week, because he'd have 2 speech days, 2 OT days, and then they'd have a speech group where it was speech based, but it was with other kids, so they could have social interactions with each other. So it was crazy. I was constantly running in that original school that I talked about, because I'm kind of flipping back and forth. He would only go 3 hours a day, so I'd go there, and then we'd be hopping on a bus to go to the speech and OT, or if he caught a ride. Yeah, it was crazy. It's a lot more calmed down now, but we have different things we're dealing with. Now, the big thing right now is we're soon to have a transition meeting. Now, this is a meeting to talk about, the next school he's going to, how the IEP is going to be set up for him to move over there, what he's going to need, because right now he's mainly in the special needs class most of the day, but they've been integrating him into a mainstream or neurotypical classroom, like a regular classroom, a half hour a day, and they've been trying to make it longer to try to move him into a mainstream classroom all the time. I don't know if they're gonna try to get him by himself into mainstream and see if he can deal with it, or if they're gonna bring an ABA in while he's in the mainstream. It's something we're gonna talk about at the transition meeting. But the school's gonna be a lot closer than the school that he's at right now, so that'll be a little bit easier, because there were times where I would have to pay a cab $20 just to go there and back. Yeah, it's crazy. But so yeah, if you have any more questions, I might even do throughout the month another video if you have any questions about autism or how to get diagnosed. Oh, and by the way, just like Stacey mentioned, before Connor got diagnosed with autism, Connor was also diagnosed with PDD-NOS, which is oh my god, pervasive developmental delay hyphen not otherwise, oh my god, I'm forgetting. Like I said, if you have any questions, or you want to know what some terminology is or what it means, post below, and I'll answer your questions the best I could. Sorry if this is a little rambly, because I wasn't sure where I wanted to go, or how into it I was going to be, I don't know where to start, where to end. But probably next year I'll have a more put together video, but it'll give you a heads up on like what I deal with on a daily basis. If I'm like, oh, I'm like dealing with Connor, it could be a million things. So thank you guys for watching. Did I mention at the beginning of the video? Hopefully you're watching it till the end. I'm still running I can't say it's a contest, but I have in the link below, I'm trying to figure out a name to give you guys a name to be like, hey, like one of my favorite YouTubers, Josh DT, he calls his people his dingleberries, which I would never call you guys dingleberries because I love you, but if you knew what dingleberries are. But I'm having a little, I guess you call it contest, I don't know. But the link will be below. If you click on the link, it'll bring you to this page, and then you click on the little bar under it says, which name do you like? And you pick a name, and by April 6th, I'm going to let you guys know what you guys decided on, what name you wanted you guys to be. So thank you guys for watching. If you see anything with autism on it, like, help the people out, because a lot of outside of Autism Speaks, they're looking for a cure. Other ones are looking to help the people that are diagnosed with it now and to find a cure. Either which way, I mean, I don't think of Connor as having a disability because some of his stuff is so above where he is. Like, his vocabulary, maybe another time during the month I'll do a video. I'll try to get little videos of Connor like using his vocabulary, because his vocabulary is amazing. His math is behind like about 2 years, but his vocabulary, even at first grade, second grade, his behavioral specialist said that his vocabulary and his reading skills were of a 14-year-old. And he was 7. Yeah. Mind blown. Like, if you could, I wish I could videotape like 24 hours a day, just because to catch the stuff that he says blows my mind. So, again, thank you guys for watching, and always remember to jingle until you tingle. Bye.